Howdy everyone, Wayne with Getting Outdoors. I want to talk to you today about why you should have a raised bed garden. Got a few issues here in North Texas in which a raised bed garden works really well instead of in ground. So we'll be right back after this dramatic intro. What do you mean we don't have a dramatic intro? I thought we fixed that. Here's the video. I'm standing inside of our garden here, and it is a raised bed garden that is starting from this point here to the boards down over here. That's, I think, about a little bit over 42 feet, 43 feet. Across the way over here is it's about 22 feet there. Now this used to be, this part over here was a raised bed, and then the other part we used to have a fence through here which is now moved, but that on the outside of the fence was an in-ground garden, and I kept on having a bunch of trouble with an in-ground garden here in North Texas. Let me show you why. Tonight is Sunday evening, and on Friday night we had a pretty good rain, nothing substantial, a couple inches, but here it is still 2 days later, and look at the puddling of water that's there. And same thing along the edge out here is all puddle of water. Now I've got 12-inch boards, and if the plants weren't in the raised bed out here, they would be sitting in that water and drowning themselves out, and that's what kept on happening. So by having a raised bed, we have clay soil that water just gets down to, and then just sits and doesn't get anywhere. Even if you have it sloped, you have to have a dramatic slope to it for it to really run off from that clay soil. Tilling, I don't like to till. I started a Ruth Stout style garden, which is just a deep mulch garden with the hay, and so we don't till. And tilling in the clay is a lot harder to do, and so really going to this also saves you time, money, energy from having to do the tilling when it comes to the spring. Now we'll show you that this side over here, again, these are 12-inch boards, and you see it's right at the 12-inch line and higher in some places, unlike over here where the new is about 8 inches. Now next year I'll probably go up about 10 inches, but I do have a gradual slope kind of going from this side through that side because I wanted to kind of experiment this first year with this. And you see right here, I put this pipe in here for irrigation. So I put some new hay down, but Friday night, look what the water ran straight through here, exactly kind of what I wanted to do, and had it filtered out going that way. And so with a raised bed garden, it's a lot easier to slope off where you want excess water to go. So number one reason to have a raised bed garden is so that way you can get your plants up and out of bad soil or bad drainage of soil. So all this soil here, let me show you real quick. As we come in here, I told you it's a Ruth Stout garden. If I dig in here, look, first of all, you got nice rich hay that's breaking down, but when we get down to the actual soil down here, it's wet still, but if you look, that's all, it's not clumping up, it's not all wet, right? And so it's draining very well, and that's where the plants are going. And you can come in, and without doing anything, you can now add whatever soil you want. So for instance, next year I'm going to be expanding the garden out to that fence there from here. And I already have plans. That's where strawberries and asparagus are going to go. So I've already started adding in what I want in there. I don't have to worry about what's below. And that is our lasagna garden. I'll put a link of exactly what that is in the upper right hand corner right now and show you how to actually do that. And this is for next year, so I'm not really worried about it decomposing right now. I just need it to decompose by next spring, which I'm sure that it will. Then if I don't have all this stuff decomposed and continue it, I can bring in garden soil. I can bring in soil mix and put in what I want. I don't have to worry about what's in the ground here. I can put in exactly what I want and then make it any amendments that I need to it. So the first reason is to have your plants up out of the water system. And then the second reason is so you can have whatever soil that you want in here. If you need to have sandy loam in, you can do that. If you want to gradually slope this into a drainage, you can do that. It's just a lot easier to control your system. And again, no-till is where these beds really are perfected. If I have this in ground, you know, I don't care what kind of barriers and stuff you put there. If it is, you know, I'm going to put, you know, another barrier, but this is going to be raised up. If it wasn't, that grass is just going to creep right on in there. And so I know a lot of people that have in-ground gardens have a lot of problems with grass creeping in. So there's a couple reasons why you should have a raised bed garden, or you know, that's why I have a raised bed garden. So hopefully this give you some information. If it did, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you can be notified anytime that we have a new video.